you're super excited for the DLC of Elden Ring, and you want to go ahead and just reset all your stats to prepare for the DLC, or maybe you just want to try out a new build as you're all messing around with some of the new weapons from the DLC, and you want to go ahead and find all 18 Larval Tears so you can respec. I am, of course, here to show you how. I'm going to show you how to get all 18 inside of Elden Ring fast and easy so you are prepared to jump in to the DLC with all the new weapons and all the new ability for you to have fun with, or maybe you just want to reset in general. I'm going to show you how to do that. So with that, let's go ahead, let's jump into this, and let me show you where you can find all 18 Larval Tears inside of Elden Ring. So let's just go ahead and begin with our very first teal here, and this one we need to go ahead and hit up in the very beginning starting area. Since when you start, you will be right over here, and we need to go ahead, head a little bit over here on the right to the Gill Lake South Grace, and from here we're gonna go ahead and jump one toward the mountains over here, and you can already see the enemy we are looking for, because this teal will come from you actually defeating a very specific enemy. So let's go ahead and jump one about this dude on a horse and head on up here to the top of the mountain, and from here we will see a single enemy standing right here. So the thing to keep in mind here is, of course, this is going to be a little more difficult than you might think it will be, because once we kill the enemy, it will go ahead and spawn into a nuddle. So let's go ahead and prepare here, and we will go ahead and take on this enemy and get our very first kill. So we're gonna go ahead and kill him, and he's gonna go ahead and transforms into a veil. So from here, we need to just go ahead and defeat him. As you can see, he is very, very strong kill. This is New Game +1. I am level 207 at the moment, so, you know, gonna have to do a little bit of combat here, but nonetheless, once we have this enemy defeated, we will go ahead and get our hands on our very first teal. On that one, it is going to require a little bit more work, that you are going to have to get through the story a little bit. Since we need to go ahead and take out the Fort Legacy dungeon with the castle. And then once you come out of the castle, you will be in the big swamp area. Head on over to the left side of the lake itself, where you're going to go ahead and find this site of grace. And from here, we need to go ahead and head towards the berserk looking tree. And we're just going to go ahead and from the tree, pretty much hug the wall on the right. And then we'll go ahead and take it to where we need to go. This is a little bit of a trek here, since this is going to be technically entering a whole new area, technically. But nonetheless, we're going to go ahead and just continue onward. And from here, you will go ahead and start seeing a dead body and a crab hanging from the clock telephone pole looking thing. And from here, we need to just go ahead and just follow this path up. And once we come out from underneath this bridge, we're going to go ahead and enter a small little village. And you will go ahead and see one of the grave sites over here will have a dead body with an item on it. And of course, this item itself is a Larval Tear that we're going to go ahead and grab. So you can grab that one without having to fight anything, without that crab get too pissy. So with that one out of the way, let's go ahead and jump back right to that same place we originally came from. And this time, we need to go ahead and head up towards the dungeon-looking area here with the torch. And we need to go into the open area right here. Because of what we need to go ahead and do with this is we need to hunt a specific enemy that you probably can already gather is going to turn into, well, another bigger enemy. So let's go ahead, head on that way, and we will go ahead and find ourselves one giant crab that hopefully have a weak spot indeed on it. And once you look around a little bit, since he can move around, you will go ahead and find him right over here roughly where we set our marker. And we need to go ahead and take him out. So let's go ahead and take out his fourth stage of the fight. And with that, he had now have turned into one of the monsters with the multiple arms. And as you probably can imagine, the fight is not the most easiest, but let's go ahead and just take him out real quick if I can hit him. And once you go ahead and take him out, we're going to go ahead and get our hands on our net Larval Tear. For our net heal, we need to go ahead and head on up a bit. This is going to take a little bit more progression in the story, but we need to head on up here to the far left where you're going to get into the Wani, like, tower area, and you will, of course, have to defeat the boss that is this in the area with all the hands. But let's go ahead and teleport here, and from here, we're going to go ahead and easily get our hands on our net one. The thing to keep in mind about that is there are a few options that could happen here. You might have this from an NPC. You might have this from a dead body. But nonetheless, we need to go ahead and from the teleportal itself, we need to head on out. And of course, from here, we need to go ahead and head on out this way, like you would be heading toward Awani. And we need to go ahead and pretty much, you can go ahead and get on your horse if you want. But you pretty much want to stay on the left side of the wall once you come out. Just follow it around. Just be careful. If you're on a horse, we are going to be jumping down some mountains. So just don't get too zealous and try not to jump too much. But nonetheless, we're just going to keep on following this around till we go ahead and, of course, see one of these little shiny dudes, as well as a building underneath. So we need to go ahead and just do a little bit of platforming here till we get on down. And from here, we will go ahead and start seeing some platforms that we can just go ahead and just slide on down. And pretty much from here, you're just going to keep on keeping and going down till we reach the area here, which will be a ladder that will go ahead and take it down to where the NPC is. Once again, depending on where you are on the story, there could be an NPC, or there could be a item for the barbarian, depending on the enemy. And for me, I do have the NPC itself. So we're going to go ahead and talk to them. And from here, we can go ahead and buy ourselves our net heal. And of course, that heal will cost you 3,000 souls. So let's just go ahead and purchase this heal for more. And once again, if they are not healed, make sure you pick up the belly. And then you want to go ahead and head back down to the round table. And from the twin single hut, you can go ahead, give all the barbarian, and you can just buy the teal that way. And for our next Larval Tear, this is actually going to be a little bit of a fetch quest, so keep that in mind. So we need to go ahead and continue over here to the right side of the map near the lake. If you have already completed the second legacy dungeon here, you will already have a teleportal right before the boss of that area that will go ahead and take it to the church. And from here, we can just go ahead and follow it down to we reach this shack. So the shack itself will go ahead and have a painting inside. You're going to go ahead, just run over here, just click on it. You will get the item itself. And then from here, we need to go ahead and head on back up to where Awani is, the little tower. Ideally, if you have already collected this great white hill outside the castle, which you can get by just coming out and hobbling around the right side, we need to go ahead and teleport there. And from this location, let's go ahead and go pretty much toward the big tree here. And we need to go ahead and head into the graveyard up here. So once you come on up, we need to go ahead and take a quick right here. There's going to be some enemies here for you to take out, so feel free to do that if you need to. But nonetheless, we want to head over to the Wacky area, and we will go ahead and see a old man painting goat collector. I get the that way to put it. Hanging over here, just pointing toward the castle itself. So we're going to run towards him, and from here, he will go ahead and disintegrate, and we'll go ahead and drop some items as soon as I deal with the skeleton. But when all the enemies are finally dead, which ended up being way more than I was expecting, you can go ahead and pick up the item itself he dropped, which will, of course, be a brand new hat, some new robe, as well as our Larval Tear, which is the main reason we can heal. And for our net one here, we can go ahead and get healed in a few ways, but nonetheless, we need to head on over here to a K-Lit over here on the far right of the map. And of course, you can pretty much pick either one of the graces, whichever one is easier for you. And we need to be heading to roughly about this area right here. So let's go ahead and do that from, of course, the castle area, which is where I am. So let's go ahead and get on our horse after I run into a wall because, you know, of course I do. And let's go ahead and head back around. And let's go ahead and go and grab that one. Just be careful, though. Depending on which place you're coming from, there is a optional Dragon Boss over there. So keep that in mind. And, of course, you can go ahead and see that bot right down there hovering around. But we're just going to go ahead and head the back way around so we don't have to actually deal with him at all. Hopefully, anyway. But once you reach this area that have all the graveyard, you will notice a whole bunch of shiny. But the one thing about it we need to keep in mind, and you better probably kill off all these dudes that are hovering around, because in the very, very back of the grave area is what we are looking for. You will see the dude standing right over there, because it will be another enemy that will be imitating a distant enemy. So make sure you take everyone out just so you don't have any surprises for that fight. And once we go ahead and clear out the last couple of enemies here, let's go ahead and take this guy on. Just be warned, this guy, once you actually defeat him, will become a giant. So be prepared for that. So let's go ahead and defeat the giant so we can go ahead and get our net heal. And once the giant is dead, we will go ahead and get our item. As long as you keep hacking his leg, he's not that difficult. And lucky enough, you got yourself another Larval Tear just like that. So going from one enemy that was a mimic to another one. This one is going to require you to at least be able to get to the main city. You also make sure you have your 2 pieces of a pendant so you can go ahead and take the elevator up. And from here, we can get here in a few ways. So pick whatever place is closer to you, because we need to go to the broken down building right here. So take whatever path you want to get here. But once you are here, we need to go ahead and head on into the building. And from here, we will go ahead and see a dude on the left side or right side, depending on what way you're coming in. That will be hiding in the corner itself. And if you can't tell by all the whiting and me telling you the mimic, well, you got a supply when you hit him. So let's go ahead and hit him. And from here, it will go ahead and summon a big kitty for to fight. So let's go ahead and take out the cat and get our net heal. We're going to go ahead and just do that. And from here, we will go ahead and get our net heal. For our net one, you need to go ahead and progress through the story a little bit more to unlock the volcano area over here on the top left of the map. And from here, we need to go ahead and head to the world of Inquisitor, but however that word is pronounced. And we're going to go ahead and use the grace. And from here, you will go ahead and notice a big looking snake monster hanging out with all the trolls that are hanging. And we're going to go ahead and defeat it. The thing to keep in mind about this boss, since I know there's a bane of all existence, that monster does have the ability to cast stone on you. And as you know, when that build up, you just straight up died. So be very careful. That boss can get a little iffy. But nonetheless, let's just go ahead and try our best to kill him and not get torn to stone and get our teal. And once you go ahead and beat him after a little bit of a headache, you will go ahead and get your hands on the teal itself. For that one, we need to go ahead and head into the underground city. And the fourth one we're going to do here, since there was a couple, is we need to head on over here to the river well. And we need to go ahead and take that to the underground. And from in here, we need to go ahead and head on down. So let's go ahead, hop on the elevator itself, and enjoy your Master Pet low queens of why we are heading down. And when we are down here, let's go ahead and just head straight. Because what we need to do is we need to go ahead and get ourselves to a shopkeeper. And of course, we can go ahead and do this by just running past all the enemies here. Lucky enough, not really a lot of them is going to give us that much trouble, all things considered. But when we go ahead and reach the area here, we need to go ahead and take ourselves another elevator up. And of course, this time we'll actually get up to roughly where we need to be. And from here, once we make it to the top, we're going to go ahead and head on up here. Ideally, stick a little bit to the left. And of course, there will be a grace up here if you haven't already got it, which you can go ahead and just grab. Because depending on when you are coming here, that might get a little bit challenging. So it might be a good idea to take a little pit stop here and grab that grace while you can. But nonetheless, once that is done, let's go ahead, get back on our horse, and we're going to continue going on the left side of the map heal, and we're going to need to avoid all the crabs. And from here, we're going to go ahead and head on up, and we need to go ahead and find us a area that will go ahead and have some like a construction happening, so we can go ahead and climb it. You can kind of already see it right over here. So we just need to go ahead and get past all the dudes and make our way over here. As you can see, they can hurt a lot if they hit you, which is the other reason to hit that bonfire if you haven't already. And we need to just go ahead and keep heading up here, and we will go ahead and find our shopkeep, take out any enemies you might need to, since, like I said, some of these might be a little bit of a problem. So do what you got to do here, and we're just going to go ahead and keep on going up. And once you make it to the top here, you might be thinking this is kind of a dead end. It is not, because you will notice a platform right underneath us. So let's just go ahead jump down onto this. And from here, we can go ahead and just follow this around until we reach a waterfall area and a torch. And all a wonderful shopkeeper will be on into this area. So we keep following this around. And then we're going to go ahead and stumble across a room here, which we'll go ahead and have our shopkeeper in. So let's go ahead, jump down, and let's go ahead and give him a nice little talk. Because once we actually get into his shop here, you will go ahead and see he does have another Larval Tear for you to buy for 3,000 souls. So be sure to take out some enemy out back if you need to get yourself some souls here. But let's just go ahead and grab this. And just like that, we got ourselves another Larval Tear. And for our net one, we're going to need to make any more progress in the main story, since you need to defeat Maconn. That way you can go ahead and get into a new underground city. So from the grades we believe, for me, I originally came to get to the fourth part of the area that we just did. Let's go ahead and head here to Fort West. And from here, once you spawn in and come on down, you will go ahead and see a whole bunch of rocks up in the L. So what we need to go ahead and do here is we need to go ahead and circle around this. If you already got a grate down here, I will go ahead and let you know what grate that is in a second. But for everyone that haven't got down here yet, we need to go ahead and just circle around till we go ahead and find us a way down into the hole itself that came from the asteroid that ended up hitting after Maconn. And once you go ahead and find your platform down, which for me is right over here on, I get technically the left side of the hole itself. We're just going to go ahead and keep on walking our way down, just being careful, trying our best not to fall to our doom, like obviously someone here will have. And when we actually get down here, we will go ahead and continue from there. So once you have found your way down, you will go ahead and see a opening here. So let's go ahead, head on in here. And from here, we need to go ahead and go on foot. So just keep walking your way through this area as you slowly make your way any more down and down until you get to the gate over here. And from there, you have made yourself to the city itself. But we still got a little bit more to go here. So just follow the path down from all the broken buildings. Try not to fall to your death if you can help it. But let's go ahead and just continue on war, and we will pick this up once I make it to where we need to be. And once you make it down to the grace itself, or if you already have that grace, you can go ahead and teleport right to it right here from the city itself. And once we are here, they want it very straightforward. All we need to do is just go ahead, run outside here, and over here on the far right, we will go ahead and see a little castle area. And all we need to go ahead and do at that point is run on in. And you will go ahead and find the item in the very back. Be warned, it do got a couple dudes here, but you know, at that point, the guys shouldn't be anything that important for you. But nonetheless, we will go ahead and find all that here right here. Well, I shouldn't say that because we still got more to go. But nonetheless, you will go ahead and find your teal right there. And also be careful of ambush, since they don't seem very happy about you taking them teal. So keep that in mind. So lucky enough from this teal itself, we're going to go ahead and go get us a couple more here. The thing is about that, we are going to need to defeat a boss. which is not that big of a deal here because it's just going to be a mimic of you. This is a main story boss, so keep that in mind here so you cannot miss this at all. So we're just going to go ahead, head on out, and you will go ahead and see yourself a building over here that, of course, your enemy will be, or where your bot will be. So we just need to go ahead, head on in here, and we need to just go ahead and defeat the boss itself. And once again, the boss itself is just a mimic of you, so keep that in mind. It will have whatever equipment you have at the moment. But once you go ahead and defeat that boss, and lucky enough, when it comes to fighting it boss, you will go ahead and get you 2 Larval Tear for completing the boss itself. So, nice little payoff there for defeating yourself. And once the mimic boss have been defeated, you got the grace, and if you're coming back here later to do that, you can go ahead and find a great heal. It's just called Mimic Heal. And we're going to go ahead, and from that point, you might already accidentally grab this if you already cam heal for the boss itself. But if you're coming back here, well, there's going to be it from that sign of great. We need to go ahead and one back up here, and we will see a Zebo just hanging up here at the top of this area. And what we're going to need to do here is just not only get to it, but also inside of it itself will be a teal just laying on the ground for you to pick up. Just keep in mind, there is some of the slimes up top, so be sure to grab it and one very, very quickly, because they will then start falling on your head. But there you go. You got yourself another teal white heal. So far, this city is going pretty good for how many teals is actually healed. And for that one, this one is going to be a little bit out of the way, especially if you haven't already got your mimic summoned. But nonetheless, I'm going to show you how to get healed. And of course, we're going to start off back where we did the fight with the mimic itself. Since, once again, there was a lot of the teal down in the Undercity stuff. So let's go ahead and we're just going to go ahead, follow the bridge around until we make it to where we would normally get off if you are progressing through the game normally. And once we get to that point, we're going to go ahead, head off. We're going to stay roughly on the left side of this area, since we got to look for a very specific area for it to jump down. So once we go ahead and head past the fourth lady who is singing up there, we're going to go ahead and see an opening here in the wall that will go ahead and take us to a grate. So go ahead and grab that if you haven't already. And from here, we need to just go ahead and find that little corner. We're going to run and jump off. And from here, we're just going to go ahead and follow this around. Just keep looking around because you're going to be jumping off little corners here and there. That's going to be a little hard to spot. But nonetheless, we're going to go ahead and just keep at this until we go ahead and make our way all the way down. This is pretty much really only one way down other than, falling to your death. But, good luck on that. And hopefully your platforming skills are good. But keep on keeping on till you hit the very bottom of the area itself. So after you walk your way down a little bit here, you go ahead and we'll find a opening where you gotta jump through the 2 windows. That will take you inside of the building itself. And this is where our net here going to be. A little side note here, if you happen to have a key to open a fog gate, you can go ahead and find a mimic here right down here. Which I highly recommend getting because it's still one of the most powerful summons in the game. But nonetheless, once you go ahead and grab that, we can go ahead and fight the boss after I killed it round thing. So, this, of course, will be a very specific enemy in that room, which if you come up, you would notice the giant ball. That is going to be the enemy we are looking for here for the teal. But for any of you who already been through this area and have yourself the grace, you can go ahead and get healed by going to the night ground. So from here, let's go ahead, head on down, and let's defeat the giant ball, and hope we don't get caught to death. Since that would be good if we can just do that. Just know there is other enemies in this area, so be a little careful. But let's go ahead and begin. And once they're dead, and once I make sure I'm not going to get killed by these guys, we will go ahead and the enemy itself will go ahead and drop the item we need. But I'm going to go ahead and take out the guy very quickly, because if not, they are going to be a problem. So let's just go ahead and pick that up, and there we go. There was another Larval Tear all done for you. But don't you worry, if you enjoy fighting balls, so we're going to fight a couple more. So with one ball down, let's go ahead and go get another one healed. So we need to go ahead and head on up here to the left of the undercrop. And we need to go ahead and head to the city itself up here. Which you will go ahead and find net to the wadded area that we all defies. But nonetheless, when we are here, we need to go ahead and just one on up the stairs here. And what we need to do is we need to go ahead and get past some of the enemy, because we are looking for another one of them giant balls to take on. And let's go ahead and see if I'm going to get hit trying to get past all of these things, because there's a pretty good chance we might get hit, and we will go ahead and see. But nonetheless, once we are up here, we're going to go ahead and go across this bridge, and we will go ahead and see the ball coming on down. So we need to go ahead and go pick a fight with it, and when we kill it, we will go ahead and get our hands on that Larval Tear. So let's go ahead and defeat this thing, and just like that, I will defeat it, and he will go ahead and drop the teal, and it will pop up behind my webcam. But nonetheless, there you another teal down. And for that one is pretty straightforward. So we need to go back down the stairs a little bit back toward the way we can. And once we go ahead and enter this area here, the door will go ahead and shut on you, and you will go ahead and start an encounter with another ball. And once you defeat that one, you will go ahead and get you another teal from this one. And then for a lap ball and the lap one of this area, we're going to go ahead and head on back out. And we need to go ahead and one up the stairs towards the very fourth boulder we ended up fighting here. And when we go ahead and head on up here, we're going to have to deal with a decent amount of enemies here. Since this area right here, you will go ahead and notice when you get a little closer, a whole bunch of slime are going to start falling, and the ball is up there. So go ahead, take out the slime, shoot the boulder, whatever you see fit. Either way, once you kill a certain amount of slime, it will go ahead and fall down. So let's go ahead, defeat that, and that is all said and done. Once again, like the other three, he will go ahead and drop it, and when we pick it up, there you go. It will pop up once again behind my head. But there you, the final teal for this area. For a final teal, this is going to be something that's going to take a little bit of work without you already having unlocked. So I'm just going to very quickly go over what we need to do to get to the area needed for this. And this involves having a medallion and a lift. So you need to go ahead and have access to the secret medallion. And how you go about getting the two pieces. It's made up into two folds. In the ice area, we're going to go ahead, head over to this, this legacy style dungeon. Beat the boss up here, and you will go ahead and find a medallion there. And then our other one is going to be something you might already have your hands on, since you can get it pretty early on by heading back down to the swamp and heading back into the city area where we picked up one of our very first teals. Inside that area, pretty much like up the hill, and literally take like 2 seconds from that area, you will find a pot, hit it, the NPC will pop out, and he will go ahead and give you the medallion itself. And once you have it, we need to go ahead and head back up here to the lift in the snow area. Stand on the platform and hit left and right on the D-pad to select secret medallion. We're going to go ahead, show the secret medallion, and that will go ahead and get it to the second hidden area that is tied to the snow area, which it will. We need to be for our net teal. So now that we got this unlocked, let's go ahead and head over there and grab it. So once you come out of the elevator, you pretty much just want to run straight. You're not going to have really any issue. And you want to go ahead and make your way to the grate right here. If you already have it unlocked, this is the closest grate to where we are going. So for this, we are going to have to do a little bit of combat, so be prepared for a fake enemy. But nonetheless, from the grates yourself, to turn around until you see that mountain. And we want to go ahead and follow that mountain up a little bit here. And the main thing we're going to be looking for here is going to be 3 different enemies. 2 of them will be walking around. 1 will be in the ground, as you can see right here. So be very careful here, just because the enemy that in the ground will be the enemy slap mimic that we gotta fight. So, the last thing you want to do is accidentally hit him and get the fight going before you deal with the other two, if, they give you any issue. But just know this is going to be the hardest mimic that we have fought at that point, because when we summon him, it will go ahead and spawn a giant fail. So keep that in mind. Be prepared for this, and good luck, and let's hopefully try to kill this thing. And there we go. Once he is done, he will go ahead and give us a very flat teal. And now you are good to go, and you have your hands on all 18 teals with inside of Elden Ring. So now that you got all 18 of these in hand, we need to go ahead and head on back to the Magic Academy. You will know where to go for the grace, because there will be an NPC marker, and we can just go ahead and talk to the NPC. And from here, you can jump to Weebles, and you will get every single bit of your experience back for you. So you can go ahead and respec to whatever class you want to do. And I know, especially since a lot of you are trying to respec, especially with the Elden Ring DLC that is out right now. And of course, with this only being 18, this is a little limited. But just know the does respawn every time you start a new game plus. So if you want to collect many more of the teals, just know every time you begin a new game through New Game Plus, you can go ahead and collect 18 more. And of course, hopefully that have been helpful for you, and hopefully it will help you prepare for the new Elden Ring DLC. And if so, be sure to do thumbs up, subscribe, hit all the bells below. And like always, I want to give a giant thank you to everybody over on patreon.com/Maconn, subscribing over on twitch.tv/Maconn, where we stream every single night starting around 8 p.m. Central. And of course, all the wonderful memberships here by hitting that wonderful join button here on YouTube and become a member for as low as 99 cents. Thank you, my dudes. And with that, that's going to go ahead and do it for me. But I will see you in the comments.